Okay, here we go. This is Algebra 2, Lesson 2.5 on writing equations of lines. So we're going to start with a little bit of review here. Slope-intercept form, that is y is equal to mx plus b, where m is your slope, or your rise over run, and your b is your y-intercept. Okay? So let's take a look at example 1. What is the equation of the line with the slope of 4 and the y-intercept of 2? So this is really super easy here. We just need to plug these numbers in for the variables. We've got y is equal to m is the slope, so that number is the slope. So 4x, and then your b is your y-intercept. So this is going to be y is equal to 4x minus 2. All right. Pretty easy right there. Let's look at example number 2. What is the equation of the line that's graphed here? So again, we're going to start at the y-intercept at this point 0, negative 2. So the y-intercept is negative 2, and our m is, it's like we're going up 1, 2, 3 over 4. So just to kind of make this clear, we're looking for the next point in which this line perfectly crosses one of these little hash marks, like right on the T here. Okay, if we notice it's not crossing perfectly here, definitely not here, not right there, but it's right on this T right there, right at that hash mark. Okay, so we're going to go up 3 over 4, and again this is up, which is positive, and to the right, which is positive. All right, so my slope is 3 over 4. So we're going to put that into the slope-intercept form. It's going to be y is equal to 3/4 x minus 2. All right, let's move on. What happens if we're not given the y-intercept? All right, so if we're not given the y-intercept, we're going to use point-slope form, and that is this equation here. We've got y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. And so that looks a little ugly, but let's do an example here. Let's take a look at number 3. What is the equation of a line that goes through the point 2, negative 5 with the slope of negative 2? All right, well, we've got one set of points, so I'm going to call this my x1, y1, and then I just go ahead and I plug it into the equation. All right, so this is going to be y minus y1 is negative 5, so I'm going to have to put that in parentheses so I remember to change the sign, is equal to m is the slope. It says the slope of negative 2, so that there times x minus x1 is 2, so I put that there, and now I can just go ahead and solve this. So let's see, first thing I should do is distribute. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. Let's go to the left side here. We've got y minus a negative. That's the same as adding a positive. So why don't we just call this y plus 5. And we just want to get all the constants on one side together. So I'm going to get rid of this positive 5. So I'm going to subtract 5 on both sides, and I'm left with y is equal to negative 2x. 4 minus 5 is negative 1. So there is the equation we're looking for. Y is equal to negative 2x minus 1. Okay. All right, moving on. What do we do if we're given a parallel or a perpendicular line? Okay, so let's do a little bit of review. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and throw this up here. You can write this in the margins if you don't have room here. But just as a reminder, parallel lines have the same slope, same slope, and perpendicular lines slopes are negative reciprocals or opposite reciprocals. Okay, so for example 4, we have what is the equation of the line that passes through point -2, 3 and is perpendicular to the line y is equal to -4x plus 1. So let's take a look here. One thing that's a little helpful is, for graphing an equation of line, we need an m and we need a y-intercept. Okay, we need to find those. So let's first start with my slope. We're given that this line here is perpendicular to the line that we need to write, but this line has a slope of -4 or -4 over 1. So the slope that we need to write is perpendicular to this. That means that our slope that we need to write is going to be the opposite or the negative reciprocal. So it's going to be a positive 1/4. Remember, we don't just flip the order, make the reciprocal, but one has to be positive, one has to be negative. Okay? So there is our slope, and then from there we can go ahead and use our point slope form. So we've got y minus y1. Let's go ahead and label these. x1, y1. All right, looks like y1 is 3 is equal to m is 1/4 times x minus x1 is -2. Let's put that there and close it out. All right, before we distribute, we should change this to positive, and we can go ahead and distribute. 1/4 times x is just 1/4 x, and 1/4 times 2 is 1/2. All right, let's drop down everything else. Y minus 3. So I want to get the y by itself, so I just need to go ahead and add 3 on both sides. This side cancels out. I'm left with y is equal to 1/4 x. 1/2 plus 3 is just going to be 3.5. So there we go. There's our equation of that line. All right. Last thing for today. What if we're only given 2 points? Okay. Well, we need to use our equation for finding slope. Okay, there we go. So there is our equation for slope. So again, I think it's helpful. Just write out an m and a y intercept. You know you're going to need both of those for an equation of a line. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. So the first thing we need to find is the slope. So let's just label these out. x1, y1, x2, y2, and then we just go ahead and we substitute these in. Right, y2 is 10. We do 10 minus y1 is -2 over x2 is 2 minus x1 is 5. And now we can just go ahead and simplify this out. 10 minus a negative, we can go ahead and change this, change that. We get 10 plus 2 is 12 over 2 minus 5, which is -3. And 12 divided by -3 is -4. So there we go. This is, again, this is for our m value or our slope. We'll put that off to the side. And so now we still need to find our y-intercept. Okay, so we can just keep this point because we already labeled it x1, y1, and just plug it into our point slope form. So we get y minus y1 is equal to m, we just found out is -4, times x minus x1, which is 5. And we can just go ahead and solve this. So we distribute this out. We get -4 times x. That's -4x. -4 times -5 is +20. Go ahead and update this problem. Drop everything else down. This is y minus a negative. We'll go ahead and change this sign. Change the sign in between. So we get y plus 2 is equal to -4x plus 20. So the last step, we just need to go ahead and get y by itself by subtracting 2. And once we do that, we get y is equal to negative 4x. 20 minus 2 is 18. So there we go. There's our slope. There's our y-intercept. We are done. Here's the equation. All right, that's all I got for you guys today.